Hey everyone, I'm going to explain OrbitalReach, which is a new component for Interactor. But first, let me show you what it does. So we have our effector rules to enable interactions for us, right? So if we enable our debug view, as you can see for the right hand, there are some specific angle rules and distance rules right over here. So if the interaction goes out of these ranges, we can't interact, right? So our hand target is right here, and we can interact with that. But if we move this object out of range, for example over here, we can't interact anymore because we can't reach to that distance, right? Or for example, if we rotate this object, right now it is right behind us and we can't interact with this object. So this is how Interactor used to work until now. But now we have OrbitalReach. So let me enable this option here on the interaction settings. And when I enable, now the object again becomes the interactable. So if I even rotate right behind me, or down on the ground, or above my head, it is still interactable. Because right now the character can rotate the object with its body. So OrbitalReach is enabling this interaction. Over here, let me show a few more examples. If it is on the ground, character crouches, and if it is a bit further away, we can still interact with this object. All right. So yeah, the OrbitalReach handles all these possibilities for you. So we can almost interact anything, anywhere within this sphere, right? So that is a really cool feature. So let me show how you enable that option. So first of all, we need to add OrbitalReach. Let me do that. And then I'm going to assign Interactor, and I'm going to assign my animator, and then I will press add OrbitalReach, and done. That's it. And it will add an OrbitalReach layer on the animator controller of the character, and the rest is going to be handled by the component itself. So you don't need to do anything except enabling OrbitalReach on the objects. So how it works, it is basically similar to the walking blend trees on animator controllers. So it is something like that, but a bit different, a bit more complex. So we have, again, a blend tree with a new set of animations for reaching object for different angles or different distances or different heights. So Interactor takes all into account, and OrbitalReach handles the rest of the animation and starts the interaction by itself. So, and also it adds some new parameters, but when you remove OrbitalReach layer, it will remove everything back to normal. So you can add and remove again. Okay, let me talk about some settings here. So if your character is around 170 or 180, like the default Unity armature, so these default settings is quite okay for you. These defines the bounds where your character can reach, because these are basic animation files. So this is, for example, or maybe like that, right? So if your character is taller, that means you are going to reach further away. Or if it is shorter, the range will be shorter too. So that helps you to calibrate your ranges, right? So the min height means 0, that is default, and the mid height is around the chest area, so it is around 1.2 meters around the chest. So that means the mid height is that your character going to interact without needing to go up or down. It is right straight in front of it. That height. And the max height is going to be the maximum height that your character can reach when the animation plays, right? So how you can see those? There's a little helper script here, orbital positioner. So let me disable this and enable another one. So let's say you have an interaction, and this interaction is right hand. So you need to put your interactor object as a child to orbital positioner, and then on the orbital reach on player character, you need to assign this orbital positioner right here and enable the debug. And then when you play over here, when you play, you can go back to orbital positioner, but this interactor object needs to be perfectly 0, or a bit slightly. It can be slightly different because this orbital positioner will move this object around you with the angle settings, or you can move it up and down, and you can adjust its distance. So you can play with these settings and see how your character can interact with different angles. So without a need to move your character, right? That's the main purpose over here. So to see the interaction, you can play with your weight. So this is the layer weight. Now the interaction is started here because we enabled the debug, and the debug duration is going to be half. So around here, which means the orbital reach layer will be on half. It is at its maximum range. So you can see how your character reaches to how much distance you can see. So that's pretty much all about it. The gizmo angles are the angles that you can see over here, and yeah, that's it. These are the shortcut buttons for these settings. So you can play with some other heights or angles. And yeah, on the interaction, as you can see, character moves, rotates to object, and about the height, so you can see, okay, my character can reach around here, up to 1.82 here. So I can now set my maximum height to 1.8, or the maximum distance is, in this case, is 0.8, and on the orbital positioner, let's move it to 1.2, and let's see how much distance we can reach. So it should be around here because there is also the hand target here. So it is 1.98 in this case, but it may differ with the angles, so you need to test them. So don't worry about the hand. Hand is just a part of basic animation. The hand will be taken care of by Interactor, right, with the IK. So you can have an idea how much your character can reach. And the crouch set is defines the height of the crouch set. So when your character is going to crouch, or when it is going to reach the object by just leaning towards it. So over here on 0.7, around 0.7, it leans to object, but below that point it starts to crouch. So it defines that. So when you do these settings, if you need to change for your different sized character, and then you need to stop the game and remove orbital reach layer and add again with new settings, and that's all. That's for calibration, and that's only for different sized, significantly different sized characters. Okay, and that's pretty much it for orbital reach. And there is one more option on Interactor object over here. So you need to enable this to use orbital reach. And then also there is this late start and late end. So these are speeding up or slowing the orbital reach animations. So it is enabled. Now I can interact with this object. So if I increase this to 0.5, the orbital reach animation will be slower. Let's make it 5. So now it is really, really slow. But not the interaction. Interaction will be same speed, but the orbital animation will be slower. Or if you lower it, it will be faster or non-existent. So the orbital reach animations scale its speed with the interaction speed. So in this case, our interaction is 1:1, 1 second for going to object, 1 second to going back. So if we increase this speed and this speed, and then the interaction will be really fast, but also the orbital animation will be fast. So you can always play with these numbers and set the best for your character. And so yeah, let me also talk about the interaction types about that. So orbital reach supports manual interactions, manual button, manual switch, or manual rotator. So manual switch and manual rotator, only manual rotator requires you to stop on the object because your hand will rotate the object like a switch. And in this case, orbital reach animation also will wait for that pause. So also if you come over here and say, hey, pause on interaction, and then the orbital reach also will wait. See, it works smooth. And then let's go back over here. Okay, orbital button, orbital switch, manual button, manual switch, manual rotator, and then multiple and pickables. These are the interaction types that works with orbital reach. So over here pickables is okay, but multiple, you may ask how it is going to work, because multiple moves the body to new place and uses all the body parts. So let me show you that really quick. In the scenes, Protoman. So our Protoman character is right here. So it helps to create a bit more smooth transaction. Let me show you. So it is right around here. No, it is right around here. So this is a multiple type interaction, and it will take the whole body. And the orbital reach is enabled on this multiple interaction. So when I press E, it reaches the object and then uses. And if I leave, it goes back to its previous state. So it looks like the character is animating towards the object. It creates a better look, right? And also the rotations are all relative. So as you can see, I rotated my bike, and when I leave, the character goes back to its original rotation and orientation relative to the object we used. So yeah, it is really cool feature, and it is usually used in next-gen games like Last of Us 2. And as you can see, we can now interact with the objects almost from any angles, then that is really convenient, right? Let's take the yellow, let's take the green, and it works really smooth. See, I catch the ball in the air, so and it played a little animation over there, and it looks really cool. I hope you like it, and that was the last new feature for Interactor before 1.0. And then, yeah, that's about it. See you on the next one, and thank you.